On the morning of June 25, 2009, the world was shaken by the sudden and tragic death of Michael Jackson, one of the most iconic and influential musicians of all time. The story of his final hours, as told by his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, is a tale of desperation, irresponsibility, and the devastating consequences of a doctor's negligence. This video delves into the events leading up to Jackson's death, focusing on the actions of Dr. Murray and the complex web of pressures that surrounded the King of Pop in his final days. Michael Jackson was a man living a life of extremes. By 2009, he was preparing for the This Is It concert series, a series of 50 shows scheduled to take place in London. The pressure to perform was immense, and Jackson was known to be struggling with insomnia, a condition that had plagued him for years. Enter Dr. Conrad Murray, a cardiologist who had been hired by EG Live, the concert promoter, to ensure that Jackson was in good health for the tour. However, Murray's care of Jackson was anything but professional, and his decisions in the days and hours leading up to Jackson's death were both reckless and fatal. Jackson's insomnia was a significant concern. According to Murray, he would often wake up the singer at 5:30 p.m. and give him a series of sedatives to help him stay awake for his rehearsals. After the rehearsals, Murray would then try to help Jackson fall asleep, a task that proved increasingly difficult as the tour approached. The night before his death, Jackson was given a cocktail of sedatives, including midazolam, lorazepam, and diazepam, but none of these drugs were effective in helping him sleep. Murray's attempts to manage Jackson's sleep were becoming more and more desperate, and his methods were increasingly unorthodox. One of the most troubling aspects of Murray's care was the use of a condom catheter, a device that Jackson wore to manage his incontinence while under the influence of anesthesia. Murray would attach the catheter to Jackson's penis each evening, connecting it to a drainage bag that collected his urine. This practice was not only degrading but also a clear indication of the extent to which Jackson's health and well-being were being compromised. Murray's decision to use this method suggests a lack of concern for Jackson's dignity and a willingness to prioritize his own goals, such as ensuring Jackson's attendance at rehearsals over the singer's health. The morning of June 25, 2009, was a critical turning point. According to Murray, Jackson was still wide awake at 10 a.m., despite the numerous sedatives he had been given. Jackson was becoming increasingly anxious about his inability to sleep, and the impact it would have on his ability to perform. In a moment of desperation, Jackson asked Murray for milk, a code word for Propofol, a powerful anesthetic that had become Jackson's drug of choice for sleep. Murray, aware of the risks but also under immense pressure from AG Live to get Jackson to the rehearsals, decided to administer the drug. The administration of Propofol was a significant breach of medical ethics. Propofol is a drug that should only be administered in a hospital setting, with proper monitoring and resuscitation equipment on hand. Murray's decision to use it in a private home without the necessary safeguards was a clear violation of his duty of care. Furthermore, the fact that Murray had been giving Jackson Propofol for 2 months prior to his death suggests a pattern of negligent and potentially illegal behavior. Murray's account of the events leading up to Jackson's death is riddled with inconsistencies. According to his testimony, he began administering the Propofol at 10:40 a.m., and by 11 a.m., Jackson had fallen asleep. However, phone records show that Murray was making and receiving calls during this time, suggesting that he was not with Jackson when he administered the drug. This discrepancy raises serious questions about Murray's credibility and the true sequence of events that led to Jackson's death. The pressure on Murray to keep Jackson on schedule was immense. AG Live had made it clear that the success of the tour was contingent on Jackson's ability to attend rehearsals. Murray, who was financially struggling and stood to earn $150,000 a month from the job, was in a difficult position. His decision to administer Propofol can be seen as a desperate attempt to satisfy both Jackson and AG Live, even if it meant putting Jackson's life at risk. Murray's actions in the hours following the administration of Propofol were equally concerning. He claimed that he stayed with Jackson, monitoring his vital signs and ensuring that he was stable. However, phone records and testimony from others close to Jackson suggest that Murray left the singer's side multiple times, including to use the bathroom and make phone calls. This absence from Jackson's room during a critical period when he was under the influence of a powerful anesthetic is another indication of Murray's negligence. The final moments of Michael Jackson's life are shrouded in mystery. According to Murray, he left Jackson's room for a short time, only to return and find the singer unresponsive. Despite his claims of providing immediate medical attention, the evidence suggests that Murray's response was inadequate and delayed. When emergency services arrived, it was too late, and Jackson was pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. The aftermath of Jackson's death was marked by intense scrutiny of Dr. Murray's actions. He was charged with involuntary manslaughter and found guilty in 2011. The trial revealed a sordid tale of a doctor who prioritized his own interests over the life of his patient. The case against Murray was built on the overwhelming evidence of his negligence, including the improper use of Propofol, his failure to provide proper care, and his attempts to cover up his actions in the moments following Jackson's death. Michael Jackson's death serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of medical negligence and the devastating consequences that can result when a doctor fails to uphold their duty of care. Pressures of fame, financial incentives, and the demands of the entertainment industry can lead even seasoned professionals to make decisions that compromise their integrity and the well-being of their patients. In the end, the world lost a cultural icon, and the legacy of Michael Jackson was marred by the tragic circumstances of his final hours. In conclusion, the death of Michael Jackson on June 25, 2009, was a preventable tragedy. Dr. Conrad Murray's negligent and unethical behavior played a significant role in the singer's untimely death, and his actions serve as a cautionary tale for the medical profession and the public. The loss of such a beloved figure is a reminder of the importance of accountability and the need for ethical standards in all aspects of life.